Starting next week on Over the Guardrail, you'll see a new face.
That's me. Hi, guys. I'm Christina. I'm going to be the new youngin' perspective of Over the Guardrail, bringing in the new matches that are on TV right now, talking about the old matches with the people that are wrestling, my perspective as a woman to see how wrestling is from there. We'll go back and forth. Should be fun.
That starts next week. This week, stay tuned as Francine co-hosts with yours truly as we interview Hollywood from Glow, Jeanne Basone.
See you then.
I want your guitar.
Champagne and guitar.
I'm DC, and this week we go over the guardrail with Jeanne Basone. But first, it's my pleasure to introduce today's special co-host. She is the Queen of Extreme, the beautiful and talented Miss Francine. Hello, Francine.
Hello, DC. I missed you so much. I had to invade your show.
I know. This is wonderful.
How
This is
about
kind of like, you know, when you get that new house and it doesn't really feel right till you have that good friend over. That's what.
Oh, I
this is
thought
like.
you were going to say this is like that new house smell that's weird and musty. No, I'm not like that. Okay.
Well, this is.
I'm happy to be here. I have my new specs on,
so
I don't get headaches. Yes, they're computer glasses, so I'm ready to stare at your lovely face and our guest's lovely face.
Well, you've been on the internet so much recently. That's no surprise, I guess. You really are.
I'm all over the place. You know, I try to stay relevant.
So you alluded to our guest today, and in my humble opinion, she put the gorgeous into Glow. She's known as Hollywood. Miss Jeanne Basone is with us today. Hi, Jeanne.
Hi. I can't hear David, so David, I hear Francine perfectly, but not David.
Perfectly. So yeah,
I apologize.
Yeah, you guys would do great without me.
So if he's asking me a question, I have no idea what he's saying.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, he's not on.
Wow.
You're not on. Oh.
I'm gonna drop out and I'll come back in and we'll see how that works.
Okay.
But I hear you, so that's
okay.
fine.
Well, that's good. Okay. Yeah, it's his show, so I guess he wants to be heard.
I wanna hear him.
I want you on my show next.
How about now?
Much better.
There we go.
All right, perfect.
There is some kind of weird echo going on, DC, every time you move, so just be conscious of it.
All right. I won't move around too much then.
Yeah, stay still. Okay.
All right. Well, Franny, you said you had a good opening question, so.
I just did a Zoom chat with one of my Patreon members, and I mentioned that I had to get off there to come over here to talk to you. He wanted me to ask you because he is a huge fan of Glow, and he said, who owns the rights to Glow? Like if they wanted to distribute DVDs. I thought it was that McLean guy, but I wasn't sure.
So
do you know?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
McLean. Yeah. So we have 3 farmers' daughters, and there was a third farmer's daughter, and her real name is Ursula Hayden. Ursula bought the rights many years ago. So she has trademark. She owns everything. The problem is with Ursula, because I tried to get like all of our shows edited to 30 minutes and then had ESPN or somebody put them back on so people could relive their Glow memories instead of going to YouTube. Can't get that working for whatever reason. So had I had the rights, things would be a lot different. But so it's Ursula Hayden who has the rights, not David.
So,
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but why would somebody want to buy the rights to something and then sit on it?
Exactly.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word, sense. So you need common sense. I could go there, but I'm not going to because I don't want to get down and dirty. No. but I'd love to. Trust me. some people just don't trust other. I can't explain it to you, but
So
hey,
odd.
at least Glow Netflix was able to get some common sense going there and be able to do the show. But that's
See,
the only thing that
I wish with the Glow, the the thing on Netflix, I wish they would have incorporated more of you ladies into it. Just that even
everyone.
supporting roles. I'm not saying you had to be
Right.
the wrestlers, so to speak.
No,
but
of
it
course
would've been-
not. Of
It
course
would have
not.
been so fun to see you guys like doing something else, and I was, oh my god,
Exactly.
there's
Like,
Hollywood.
Yes, I could have played like Melrose's mother, or you know what I mean, or Melrose's aunt, or somebody
Older
else,
sister.
whatever. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
okay.
Exactly, exactly. And that would have been great. Or we could have been Alfred Hitchcock, getting on a bus, and there goes Hollywood onto the bus, or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they dropped the ball with that one big
Yep.
time.
But you know what? It may not have been Netflix. It could have been the person who let them use the rights.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're not allowed to use the Glow Girls. Anyway, whatever promotes the brand, has gotten us more publicity.
Right.
Obviously, the conventions that we've been doing, our merch. And who would think? I mean, Francine, seriously, here I did this show 35 years ago, and I did not think, right? You're doing
love
this
it.
show 35 years ago, and all of a sudden someone's doing a TV show about what you did 35 years ago? That's awesome.
and it resurrects you.
Yes, it does.
Here you are again,
Yeah.
and it's amazing what it does for your career.
Yep, it does. Exactly.
Well,
So-
I just want to say you look exactly the same.
Oh, you're cute. No, there's
seriously.
wrinkles all in there.
We can't sit back. You can't even see them. Don't worry about it. No
They're
one's looking at
back.
no one's looking at your wrinkles, honey. All right. That was the question. I wrote it down. I was like, I have to ask her that.
That's a good
That is-
question. Yeah.
that-
Vinny,
a
it's
great
from
one.
Vinny. So thank you, Vinny. And I told
Thanks,
him
Vinny.
to subscribe. Yes. I told
Thank
him
you,
to
Vinny.
subscribe to your Over the Guardrail.
Oh, perfect.
Excellent.
That's good.
Yes.
Good.
Every subscriber counts.
That's right.
Jeanne,
like
how
that.
have you been making out in the COVID world we live in now? You still been traveling quite a bit, right? How has it been?
Well, traveling at first, I remember in March, I'm like, oh boy, we just gotten back, my boyfriend and I, from Cozumel. We went to Cozumel, and right when we're coming back, I saw people over in the Dallas airport wearing masks, and I'm like, what? And just a few people. And we're looking at them like, what are they doing? What's going on? And, so the traveling still continued because I go back and forth from Nashville to Los Angeles. I was very picky on some of the people that I was working with there, just the same 2 or 3 people. But I go and see my parents. Then I decided, for some extra money, I had been doing soap, you guys, making soap. I have a soap line called Hollywood Botanica. And I had decided, over 2 years ago, I love anything that doesn't have preservatives, anything that's better for us, but who wants to? So I decided that I would do some due diligence and make it and figure out how to make it better. I came into some ups and downs with it, and now I've been doing it for almost 2 years. And you guys, my soap is fun. I mean, Francine, I got to send you some.
I would
So you
love
have
to use your soap.
Yes, I just want you to try it.
It's beautiful.
This is Beach Baby, and I love it. It's got the smell of the beach, so if you people
Look
love
how
the beach.
pretty.
It is pretty. Isn't that kind of
It's
nice?
And
Beautiful.
I had
But-
seen her promoting it. I thought she was just doing that, just promoting it, but she
Look at
does
my-
make it.
Can you? Yeah, I do make it. These are can you see
Oh,
these? These are
yes.
that is a mermaid. There she is.
Oh, those are so
Any-
pretty.
They are pretty, and then I've got.
and they must
this is
smell
my-
amazing.
Yeah, this is my
Oh,
Halloween.
The Halloween collection.
Is that
Right.
glycerin?
That one is glycerin.
Yeah.
I never usually do glycerin, but this was like, make it quick, get it done. These are not. These are all, they take 3 to 4 weeks to cure.
Cute.
I know, it's kind of cool. This right here,
Aw.
it's got bats on it, bats and skulls.
You are adorable. I love it. So
And this
cute.
was called Perfect Pumpkin. But anyway, it's Hollywood Botanica. And the funny thing is being ahead of the curve, here we go. We didn't know that this COVID-19, that we need to wash our hands and soap and all of that. I was just doing it because I love soap. I think it's great. And I love something that's good for you and good for our planet. So There you have it in a nutshell.
And you
Yeah.
can make it right out of your home. You have the molds
I do.
and everything.
Yep, I do. Usually the ones that I just showed you right here, these right here, I have to smell them too. This one's autumn. This smells like rain. It's interesting. I switch them up all the time, but it's like a loaf pan. So, you know, like if you made a loaf of bread, there are silicone molds, and I put them inside the mold, and then I can add all these colors and fragrances, and it's very cool, and it's very relaxing. So that's what's keeping me busy during COVID. I just want to show you one more because I'm happy. I love this. This is very, very cherry vanilla. Yeah,
I would love that one.
all right, so this will be done in 3 weeks, and I'm sending you one of these.
Beautiful.
David,
you're like a hot Martha Stewart.
Ooh, I like that. So are you, though. And here's another one. And I did go to jail once, so we have something. I have something in common with her. Right after Glow. Oh my God! What a story
you have
that
something
was.
in common with who? I've never been.
Martha.
Oh, Martha.
Martha
Not
Stewart.
you. Martha.
I was like, wait a
Not
minute.
you.
What did you go to jail for? Well, now you have to tell the story because we need to know.
Well, so I'll try to do the quick version of it. I didn't pay a ticket, and it went to warrant. However, my tags were just a few days expired, and I was taking my time. You know, when you're only 23 years old, 24, you're kind of just thinking, I'll get out of this ticket, which I did 3 times. But on the 4th one, I got pulled over in a different Los Angeles County instead of Burbank. So I'm in LA, and the guy pulled me over and said, step out of the car. And I looked at him and I went, are you going to tow my car? He's like, no, get it. And they put the cuffs around me. I stayed in jail for 18 hours because I didn't pay that ticket. Now, let me tell you something. I had to be on a bus, and the bus was only going 500 feet. So I wasn't going far, but I had to get to the courthouse from where I was staying. You guys, when I got in to this holding cell to go see the judge the next morning, there was a girl on the bus that looked at me. She goes, I know who you are. And I looked at her and I was like, she goes, you're Hollywood from Glow. And she had her accent because it was all very Hispanic girls, you know. And I'm like, I go, don't you fucking tell a soul. I go, don't tell anyone. I was so scared. I was like, but I was acting like the character Hollywood. So I'm in the holding cell, and here comes a real big woman that looks like a man. And she's singing that song. There's a song, you guys, I know I'm older than you, but it's an Elvin Bishop song. And it goes, I must have been through about 1 million girls. I love them and I leave them alone. And she's singing that song. I'm like, oh my God. She's looking at me and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And I look up, it's the dyke chick looking at me that looks like a man. And she says something to me. She goes, how come you're not bailed out of jail? And I was like,
oh my gosh.
I was so nervous. I looked at her again. I go, what? And she goes, you're on TV. How come you're not bailed out? I go, didn't have the 700. Anyway, they left me alone, but that little Mexican girl told everybody who I was when I went to go see the judge. As soon as I walked out the door, she goes, guys, that's Hollywood from Glow.
You should have did your entrance when you walked into the courtroom. That would have been the best. I would have loved that.
Anyway, that was my little story.
I like it.
Jeanne, I know sometimes Francine will come across a box of treasures in her house of old ECW stuff. Did you hang on to a lot of memorabilia from the Glow days?
So if I went over there into that closet, I have my old Glow outfit. You know how old that is, Francine and David?
You know how much money you can make, baby?
Yeah.
Talk to me. I'll help you. I can help you.
Okay. Yeah. I like it. Okay, we'll talk about it. So I have my old costume. I have Vine's old costume, and a couple other girls' costumes that don't know that I have their costumes.
You're sitting on a gold mine there, my dear.
And I also have the book, Francine. For us in the day when we were doing Glow, they wanted us to write down our matches. They made us write down the matches, which I don't know why we would have to do that, but we did. we wrote down, I still have that book that has my rap songs in it. It has all the matches against all the girls, which is actually kind of cool that we did write it down, because writing a bio, which I have been working on for so long, I can refer back to those matches and those holds and those people that I wrestled with, because I wouldn't have remembered all of them. But yeah,
Right.
they made us write everything down and then do it verbatim.
Wow.
It's so much easier to get in the ring and do what you do, a beginning, a middle, and an end. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah,
Right.
but
That's
not back
crazy.
then. Yeah, we had to remember, and not only one match did I have to remember, sometimes 4 a night. So it was.
Because you did multiple tapings.
But yeah, lots of multitasking and remembering. I'm glad I was young, because I don't think I could do 4 matches and remember everything
That's a lot.
verbatim.
Jeanne, is it
But it was
true?
fun.
Is it true you guys had a
Yes.
glow
Oh.
house?
There was no glow house per se when we were doing our seasons. We had sketches called The Glow House. That glow house was somebody's
Okay.
house. That and in the end of season 4, we had little sketches out of that house. But for the first and second season, I lived at the Riviera Hotel. And then the third and fourth season, I moved into where the director had like a, I don't know, 8-room mansion that's not there anymore because there's hotels there, over there in Vegas. Yeah, but I was also working part-time then, where I didn't have to be there every single day. I got to come in on Wednesdays, do the matches, do a dress rehearsal on Friday with the cameraman, and then audience came in on Saturday, and then I would leave back for California. So I worked part-time season 3 and 4.
Okay. How
Yeah.
may I ask a question? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
How much input did you have with your character? Because you got, and I'm not just saying this because you're in front of me, but I was a little young when Glow first came
Yeah.
out, but of course
Yeah.
I watched the reruns and replays and whatever I
Yeah.
could get my hands on, because wrestling, I wanted to
Yeah,
really
of course.
learn.
You wanted to learn.
Your character just got me, because you could work obviously, but you were like one of the sexier healer.
I wasn't trying to be.
Well, you were.
Because
But
Thank
how
you.
much input did you have? Like, who came up with because Hollywood and Vine is one of the greatest things ever. Like, I love that combination. That's an awesome tag team name.
Right, isn't it?
It's wonderful. But how much because with me, I know I had a lot of say in the way that I dressed, in the way
Yep.
that I acted in the ring. Like, that
Right.
was pretty much all me.
Right.
Did you have that much freedom working there?
So the first season, I didn't even know anything about wrestling. I didn't even know the character Hollywood and Vine. So David McLean and Matt Simber came up with those characters. They already had 12 characters named. They were putting them with our person. So thank God they gave me Hollywood, because I got her really well. But in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of say. However, once I started and I understood what that character was, I'm like, okay, you guys want Hollywood and Vine to pick pockets? How boring, pick pockets. We're from the streets of Hollywood and we're picking pockets. I'm like, I'm from California. I am from Los Angeles, California. Let's change this up a little bit. So since it was the 80s and I love rock and roll so much, then I started changing my outfits. I'm like, oh, let's do what the 80s vixens do on the heavy
Like
metal
the album covers and
yes
videos.
So, exactly. So there was black leather and gloves and lace and fishnets, and then crimping of the hair. So they didn't say anything. I just did whatever I wanted to. I changed my hair color. I went from dark to blonde and then back and forth, and so you'll see me with different color hair colors. And then I hated the outfit. The first pink one was just, I'm like, this looks terrible on me. So I just would go into California. I'd pick up outfits for Vine and myself. Like, here, Vine, you're going to wear this animal print, and I'm going to wear this animal print. So you'll see in different seasons of the show, I have different outfits. And yes, I did have a lot of input with the care, as long as you were doing your job, right? Doing what you were supposed to do. As far as the sketches, they had those down verbatim. They wanted me to do PSA commercials for drugs and alcohol. They wanted, of course, a heel to do that. And so those were great.
Well, you had mentioned you didn't know much about wrestling. Did you?
I did not.
Were you not trained when you started?
Nobody was trained. Every girl that
no one was trained.
Nobody was trained, but Mondo Guerrero was our trainer. So what better? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mondo was my trainer. He was also Ivory, who was Tina Ferrari.
Yes.
That was her trainer as well. So we all got trained by Mondo the first 3 months. That's it. After that, Francine, I was doing what you were doing. I'm going on TV to figure out, how am I going to do a flying head scissor? Who's going to do that with me? How do I do this? So I'd watch it over and over and over. So I watched WW back in the day, WWF, and look at the guys and see what they were doing and then copy it.
That's amazing.
Other than that, we had other trainers, but no one was the same as Mondo. You know, it was starting to come down the line, and girls were training season 3 and 4 girls. And I was, you know, so to learn more, I had to turn on the TV to figure it out.
Took it in your own hands.
Yeah,
so to speak.
exactly. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When they told you that Glow was over, I think it was pretty much they just came to you guys and said that was the last episode. But did you think somebody would pick it back up at that point? You guys were on top and the ratings were great. Did you think it would go on?
Well, I've already been doing it for 4 years, so I'm going to be honest with both of you. I'm like, man, I'm in my 20s. I want to get the hell out and go have fun and party and be allowed to stay out after midnight and do all these things that we weren't allowed to do, because if we got caught doing any of those things, we were fired, we were fined. They had a leash around our neck, a tight leash with a short rope, you guys, around our neck. And it's funny because Glow Netflix is so much different, which is fine. But when you watch that show, it is definitely not the same as our show at all. Of course, there's more drama happening. Of course, you need more drama to bring in your audience. But it's not a carbon copy of Glow. So I just want to tell people that when they see it, you know, those girls on that TV show look like they were having a lot more fun and a lot more input and could do this and could do that. And not us. It was sometimes it was difficult. You know, you want to go out and you've got, just for example, your favorite bands in town and you want to go see them play, or you're meeting people and you don't want to say, hi, I have to leave. It's Friday night, but it's midnight and I have to go. Well, I got in a lot of trouble because I came in after midnight. So, you know, there you have it. I mean, a heel, always a heel. That's Hollywood.
The reason being, because they put you up in this, you had mentioned the 8-room mansion that you were staying in. So any of the girls who stayed there, it was kind of like you guys were underneath their thumb, basically, and you had to follow this regimen or else you would get fined.
That's right. Let's just say I didn't follow and I didn't get fined, but the poor girls that were hanging with me got fined.
Why did you not get fined? How did you talk your way out of it?
Because I don't know, but I could say, I can tell you that. Well, I do know. When you pay your dues, I did the pilot and I did all 4 seasons. By the time that came around, season 3 and 4 had all new girls. So Hollywood is one of the ones that stayed. Mountain Fiji and myself were the only 2 girls that stayed from season 1 and 2. So we had leverage. They needed us. So they kind of let us get away with more without really telling us that we were getting away with more. But I pushed it, you guys. You know, like I said, once a hill, always a hill.
Yeah.
You know.
Gosh, that's rough.
It was rough, but you know what? I had a really good experience. I don't have any bad things to say about David or Matt. They did their job. They did it well. If I had anything to change, the only thing that I wish is that we had these back then, you know, and the internet. You know?
I'm kind of glad we didn't have those in ECW days, because there's too much stuff going down that people would get in trouble for. So.
That's true too. But I just meant the internet in general, having the internet. But the power of television is huge. I mean, with the power of TV, we had no idea at some point that we even had fans. We didn't even know we were getting fan mail, Francine. We had no idea. I went into the office to get my check, and this was in California. I'd come home after one of our tapings in Las Vegas and went to pick up my check. And I looked over to the side and I'm like, Jackie, I go, what what are those bags of mail? What is that? She goes, that's your fan mail. I go, what? We're getting there were bags and bags. I went through it so fast and I'm pulling out stuff, but they never gave it to us. So that was kind of sad. Some girls got it. I've had some interviews with some of the ladies. Some said they got some. I don't know how they got them. Maybe they got them the same way I did, but it wasn't like you were getting your fan mail every time they had roll call or a show. So that was kind of sucky. It was. And we were not on TV in Las Vegas. They made sure that they didn't want us watching ourselves. But I think when you watch yourself on TV, especially doing a season 1, you're critiquing yourself. What can I do that's better? You know, if you watch TV now, you guys are watching like new shows, you'll see all the characters on season 1. And then when they come back on season 2, I swear to God, they look better. They're like, their hair's better, they're slimmer, their face looks better. I don't know what it is.
So odd.
Yeah. Oh, well. Hey, when you're back then, you know, it was a whole different time. Yeah. Such a different, you know what I mean? And here's the funny thing, Francine. It was interesting because we weren't really like WWF, WWE, whatever you want to call it. No one really said anything about Glow. You know, I used to hear negative things. Those girls can't wrestle. They just do this. They're making fun of. And we were never making fun of anybody. We were just a different type of show. Right. You know, that's all. It was a different show. They had these rap songs. And the cool thing about our shows, we had girls from every walk of life, all different colors and all different shapes and sizes. Not everybody looked the same. Right. So that was that was a cool thing about Glow.
Oh, that's what I loved about it. I loved the fact that there was, you know, someone that looked like a Barbie doll, but then someone that looked like,
who did it?
You know, a Mount Fiji or what. Yes. The characters were so like, it just blew my mind the way, it was a little cheesy, and you could admit that as well, of course. But it was fun. It was fun to watch, and I always enjoyed watching it.
You're so sweet.
It's serious. I'm serious. I
know that.
I've watched. I've watched all kinds of wrestling, and if I don't like it, I don't watch it. Glow sucked me in because I'm not the cookie cutter Barbie doll in this business.
Neither
I never was, never will.
Yeah, but you look like it.
No, I don't. Well, you know, brunette hair, but
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're the brunette Barbie. You can be a brunette Barbie. That's I'm giving you a compliment. You look hot.
Thank you. Well, thank you. But you know what I'm saying. Like, I didn't look like a lot of the other, especially when I worked for WWE. I didn't look like those other girls.
I know.
You know, but and that made me want to work harder. And which that's a whole nother show. But with your company and with Glow, everybody got to shine. You know what I mean?
That was great. Everybody had their time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody had their time, and that was cool. It wasn't till I started doing the conventions with you and the different characters that the guys were finally saying, Hollywood, we watched you. And I'm thinking that none of those people back in the day even saw our show. When we did syndication, we were in New Orleans, and Vince was there with his guys, and Glow, we were there, and we were told, don't go over and talk to Vince's guys. Vince's guys don't want to talk to you. Don't talk to them. So I'm walking through the convention. We're talking about 1986, 87. Okay. I'm walking, and here comes Jesse the Bod Ventura, and we're both walking, and I'm going, we're not supposed to talk. We're not supposed to talk. I looked at him. I go, hi. I go, we're not supposed to talk. He goes, I know, but let's talk.
So great.
Yeah, so it was really cool to see some of the legends and your peers and people that really actually did know who you were, because we didn't think anybody knew who Glow was. I didn't anyway.
We knew. We all knew.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
You guys were pretty edgy back then, though, too. I was watching some of the episodes, and some of the storylines you guys would get into definitely wouldn't go over nowadays, for sure.
Of course not. No,
yeah.
The apartheid matches, and then we had one that was like the Germans versus the USA team, and it was Matilda Hun, her seconds, myself and Vine against Mountain Fiji, Little Fiji, and Americana. We went shopping for gas masks, for files, for, oh my God, chains and whips. We had to learn the song, the German whatever. Oh my God. No, there's no way, because we did that in the first and second season. We got away with a lot of shit. Season 3 and 4 had to be tamed. I mean, the Heavy Metal Sisters in season 1 made one of the girls jump through a hoop of fire like a dog. Yeah, they had her all on fours. I kid you not. And they made her jump through a hoop of fire. And then, of course, that chainsaw was a real chainsaw. I mean, come on, you guys. Yes, it was. And the fire was real. God, we're lucky that we were so lucky. I mean, thank goodness we always had fire department with us. We had our EMT guys, Ron and Stan. They were always there in case we got hurt. Of course, we used them in the show as well,
right?
Because they used to have to take out the Heavy Metal Sisters and put them in
the restraints.
Yes, and restraints.
Yeah.
What's the thing?
Oh, the straight jackets.
Yeah, the straight jackets.
Yeah. See, I remember.
Yes, you do.
But the camaraderie was there, right? Backstage. Yes. I mean, for the most part. Yeah.
Most part.
See, I would have killed for that, because we only had a certain amount of girls.
Right.
And it was a revolving door where I was. You know what I mean? Like I stayed there the longest, and I've seen girls come in and out and in and out. And I always said, there's too much testosterone in this room. I just want girls who are going to stay, who I can travel with, who I can hang out with. And you had that. So I'm jealous of that.
Yeah. We had it.
That's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you brought up fan mail a little earlier. Today's equivalent would be, I guess, maybe DMs. And Francine does a great segment on her show. You get any crazy ones? I'm sure you get a few.
Are your DMs open?
Yeah.
Okay. Mine on Twitter are not, because I don't follow fans back. But I realize I'm not an Instagram person. I hate IG. But one day I happened to click it. Yeah, because I don't do the whole.
I got it.
I happened to click it, and I realized, oh my gosh, my DMs are open.
Oh,
so what kind of DMs do you get?
Well, it's interesting because there's some that talk about, oh, I like your feet. And I'm like, I'm trying to sell soap here, guys.
Sell your feet. Girl, I need to sit you down and teach you. I will.
Been there, done it. I can just tell you that right now. I've been there, done it. We'll chat.
Okay.
Nothing bad. And then there's other places where they have to be accepted. So on IG, so I must have some kind of privacy going on, because you have to be a friend first, I guess. I don't know. I'm still learning it as we go. I ignore it. You know what? I've had the emails. So my equivalent is emails, David. It's interesting, because if somebody gets a hold of me on Instagram messaging or Twitter messaging or Facebook messaging, I'm like, what happened to emails? Usually everything used to go. So I bet I have to check everything now. Damn it. Got to check all 3 things, because you might be missing stuff that you have no idea, or people are thinking, well, she's ignoring me. I'm really not ignoring you. I just didn't know that I need to check all of those things all the time. Just older. Older generation.
Have you ever got a dick pic? Because I have never got one.
I don't think
never
so.
Got one. No, I've never got. I'll get probably 40,000 of them sent to me, but I've never got one.
Now you're gonna get one.
Yeah.
No.
A fan has never sent me one.
No, me either.
I'm eternally grateful.
Yes. Yeah, right. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, and the OnlyFans is really huge right now, but you've been doing a lot of this stuff, like you said, since the 90s, right? You've been putting out different content out there.
You're talking to me, David. You went out a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, it's okay. I heard what you said. I've been putting on content ever since Glow really ended. I still continue to be in it. Myself and Lightning, we did it for a little while. And then after independent wrestling, that was a little different, because that was different than Glow. There was only a couple of girls on those tickets back then as well. 2 or 3. We did that. And then I started my own company, Hollywood Productions. And I got a cameraman and different ladies to star in some of my stuff. Basically, what I do is I'll take a custom request, read through it, make sure it's something we want to do. Some people look down upon it, but I'll tell you guys, it pays our bills. Mm-hmm. The custom matches, I've been doing those for years, many years. And I've still continued to do it. People go, well, Hollywood, when are you going to hang this up? When are you going to stop wrestling? I will stop wrestling when my body says I can't do it anymore.
about-
So, and I
How
won't
about
push
when
it.
people stop wanting to see you? How about when people stop paying you? That's when you hang
Yeah,
it
there you
up.
go. That's when you
Come
hang it
on,
up. That's one of the reasons. That's
Get with it.
yeah.
No.
Yep.
So I read a story, if you care to share it with the listeners, about a video you did with a wife and a broken leg. Is
Oh
that
my
a
God.
true story?
God, that is a true story. I wasn't supposed to bring it up, but it's been so long ago. Yes, it was supposedly his wife. You guys, I guess I didn't know what competitive wrestling was. I was so used to doing glow. You know, pro matches are not really competitive per se matches. And this girl, I put her in a headlock, standing up, and she took her leg and she wrapped it around my knee and hooked it at my ankle and pulled, you guys, and pulled. And she was much bigger than me as far as muscle wise, and broke my leg in 3 places.
So she
After
shot
that,
on you.
pretty much, she
Yeah.
didn't know any. I'm thinking she knows pro wrestling. She didn't know any pro wrestling. And maybe I'm an idiot for going into the situation without asking a million questions. Didn't think I had to. Did not even say, I'm sorry. Looked at me like that and goes, what happened? And I'm like, I think I broke my leg. I heard it, you guys, in my head. I heard crack, 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 and fell to the ground.
Was she
So
a fan or was she who was she?
I think her husband was the fan, wanted to see both of us wrestle. You know, I would have liked to have had apology. After that, I thought I am never going to wrestle again. And that was 1998. November 1998. So yes, it did happen, and I couldn't work for 4 months. Now this is when WWF had come into Los Angeles, and they wanted me to go and interview.
Sorry.
So that's okay. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm right in the middle of a broken leg. So I wore sweatpants, you guys, because this leg was so atrophied. I didn't want them to see how atrophied it was. I was still limping a little bit. So I get in the ring. Jim Ross is down below with a couple other guys, and they're asking me all these questions. Who was your trainer? I'm like, Mondo. They're like, oh, and this, and asking me, and they're getting closer and closer. I am not one to sit there and bullshit you. I just looked at them. I said, you guys, I'm sorry. I said, the reason I'm limping is I'm right in the middle of a broken leg. And that was it. They're like, see ya, bye.
Oh God,
You know,
that sucks.
But Francine, I kind of, again, here I am. I'm just wanting to live my life as a, 20-year-old, and wanting a boyfriend and gonna go party here and go here. That's all I wanted to do is just be normal. I was not really, I think if I wanted to go that route and continue more wrestling,
Yeah,
I would have, but
happen.
I would have made that happen. But for 4 years, it was just like bam, 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 bam. But of course, I was sad. As soon as they said, no, we're not doing this anymore, I'm like, shit, how am I going to pay the bills? Damn.
Yep.
And this is what I say. And this is what I say to young kids. I say it every time in all of my podcasts. Plan B, have plan B. Just, maybe go to school, learn something that you might like to do. Don't be 55 years old and rolling around in wrestling. You might hurt something. You never know.
Listen, it works for you.
It works for me, yes, but I don't know.
You.
Not very many people, but it does work for me.
I'm told so many times, like, because I always say to myself, what did I do in life to deserve to do this
I know.
for a living? Because
I know.
You get to go to these conventions, which I love. I love.
Yeah, me too.
Love interacting with the fans, and I love talking to people. And like my agent Chad always tells me, you earned it.
He's right.
You've worked so hard, and this is your reward in life.
It is.
This is what you get to do.
And that is so cool, isn't it? All of a sudden, you'll see these people that will know all of your matches. They'll ask you all these questions. It's well worth it. It makes you feel good. And then these people have children, and they're telling their kids, hey, see her over there? I used to watch her when I was your age, they will say.
Yeah.
It's very rewarding.
Why hasn't anyone, and maybe they have, and I'm just not privy to it, why hasn't anyone got you ladies together? I know there was a documentary several years ago which focused on you guys. Why aren't you booked as a unit to go and do these conventions? Because I feel like it would draw so many extra.
We are, but some can go and some can't go. And some people, like Team Art Productions is one, can only afford one or two girls. They can't afford the whole bunch. For me, I continue to wrestle after Glow was done. Lightning did as well. The rest of the girls got married. They had children.
Yeah.
Maybe, and they look a little different. You know, not everybody can stay, can stay slim and trim. And some people, I have a comic book coming out that I'll do more conventions next year. It would be great. We did do, I will tell you, in California, Francine, when we do the Comic-Con there, a lot of the girls are from California, so we can get a big group when we're there.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're in the California area. Not everybody can travel. That's bottom line. For me, I'm in Nashville right now, and I go back and forth to LA because my home is also there. So I go back and forth. Nashville's perfect for me to get to the East Coast quick, to get to Dallas, my farthest is going back home to California. So I've been traveling for a while. As you're right, David, that hasn't stopped. And this is real simple. When I was doing it for California, it's like, damn, it's taken me 5.5, 6 hours to get here. Damn, now it's 2 hours. I love that. Centrally location is pretty good.
Yeah, works.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope the conventions come back soon.
They will.
I'm
Stay
ready.
Positive. I'm ready to. Francine?
Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, I just don't want to do them having to wear a mask.
Yeah.
No, me either.
No interest. So
that's hard. That's hard to do that. I mean, being on the flight, you guys, 4 hours on a flight from Nashville to California. Woo! I got to have this and watch a Netflix movie because all of a sudden I've got to watch something on Netflix that whole time because then I start thinking about, I can't breathe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can do it for a little bit of time, but boy, after a while. And the cool thing is I take Southwest all the time. There is no one ever next to me. And my tip is if you put your jacket and your purse on that middle seat, not usually someone's going to sit in that third seat. And I did that by accident one day. I go, oh, they think people are there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the last flight I took was pretty full, except for that middle on that big plane.
She's a worker. I love it. Mm-hmm. Yes. Good.
I work it.
So
hey guys,
I have with me a few would you rather questions if you'd like to play.
Sure, let's play.
All right. This has one of Francine's favorite topics in it. Would you rather accidentally laugh loudly at a funeral or fart while giving a speech at a wedding?
Oh my God. Can we say neither of those things? I guess the first one.
Francine?
Oh, I have to answer?
Why not?
I think laughing loudly at a funeral would be
rude.
No, very rude, and I think somebody's dead, so that would be a problem. I think I would have to have flatulence. Where was I? Where am I having to?
You're giving a speech at a wedding.
At a wedding?
Yeah.
I would just blame the best man. Yeah, bro, you're disgusting.
And everyone's drunk by then anyway, so.
Yeah, no one cares. I would just do that one.
That's perfect.
All right, how about this? Would you rather have no eyebrows or an extra finger?
Yeah. I could always use an extra finger.
Well, you do have two phones, so.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I definitely need that one.
I would rather have no eyebrows because nowadays they have micro brow pens. I could just draw them in. Who cares? I don't want an extra finger.
I do.
Okay, you take the finger. I'll take the eyebrows. Finger. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. How about would you rather spend a year living at a nudist colony or within an Amish community?
Oh crap!
The nudist. Nudity.
I hate my body.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I do. I've had children, love. I've had two children, 2 C-sections. I got a scar from here to here. It smiles at you.
Right here. I've got chicks with stitches and scars are cool.
They're cool. Well,
yeah, yes, you look good.
I think I'm gonna have to be an Amish person.
Opposite. This is great.
I don't like the way I look at all. I fake it well.
All right, last one we have. Would you rather be handcuffed to the most annoying person you know for 24 hours or go camping with someone who likes you but you don't like back?
I love camping. So I'll do the camping because I don't have to talk to the person.
And I hate camping.
I love
So
I hate camping. I have to be indoors. So I would pick the annoying person because I hate bugs and nature and all that crap.
Oh, the annoying person would drive me up the wall.
Just
That's great. Those
listen,
are perfect.
when you have children, you learn to zone things out.
uh-huh.
Right? DC,
Yeah.
am I
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I think I would be able to just zone that idiot out.
Right out.
Yeah, I'd be good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Those are good questions. Can I take back the finger? No. Eyebrows.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Oh,
funny.
Well, this has been a lot of fun, and I want to go over one more time, Miss Hollywood, everything you have going on. So if you want to run down a list for us, the soap making and everything else.
First of all, you guys, thank you so much for having me on this show today. I didn't thank you in the beginning, but I want to say thank you. If you guys are interested in my soap line, it's Hollywood Botanica with a K, and you can find me at IG, which is Hollywood Botanica. And then I have Twitter, Official Glow Hollywood, and a Official Glow Hollywood Instagram. I'm sorry, the Twitter is Glow Hollywood. Jeez. Too many. See what I'm saying? Too much stuff.
It's confusing.
It does. And then, for the old people, there's Facebook. Hollywood Productions.
For the old people. I love it.
Facebook is for the elderly. That's what the youngsters tell me, my nephews. Oh my God.
That's
I'm
awesome.
old.
Remember
Thank you,
when
guys.
MySpace was a thing?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and
I don't even
Facebook was
know.
right after that. So
It sure was.
yeah.
Thanks, guys, for having me. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good weekend, by the way.
you too, sweetie. And I hope to
Thank
see
you.
you somewhere soon. And
I will.
We must have a meal together or something.
Let's do that. And both of you, when this is over, get me addresses so I can send out some soap, okay?
Oh, I will send you in a DM. I'll
however
slide into your DMs, baby.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. And DC, you too, honey. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love the soap.
Wonderful.
The soap.
Thanks, Hollywood. Thanks for coming on. It was
Bye,
great
girl.
great to see
Love
you.
you.
Love you too. Thanks,
Bye,
you guys.
baby.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a good time.
That was great.
I hope I didn't ask too many questions.
No, I
was just
love that you were asking the questions. That was great.
Kind of riding the wave because it's especially with a female I knew the vibe she was giving off. So
Yeah.
I knew, like, in my head, I was like, okay, this one needs to be asked. So boom.
You do what you do.
I do what I do.
She does so much stuff too. I couldn't believe it when I started getting ready for this and finding out everything that she actually does, from the soap to the Hollywood productions to she's staying busy.
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
And you're busy also, so why don't you tell everybody too what you got going on?
Yeah, just follow me across the board at ECW Diva Francine. I am on Twitter, Instagram, Old People Facebook. Yeah, we have the cameos that are happening. We have the OnlyFans, onlyfans.com /ECW Diva Francine or / whatever it's called. Etsy. I have it all. DC.
You're everywhere. You're everywhere.
I try to be, I do what I can. But and I'm at ShopRite buying snacks for my kids. You can see me in aisle 4 picking up treats.
Well, at least you're able to get out of the house a little bit now. So that's
no, I don't even go to ShopRite anymore. My husband goes. I stay home. I'm just trying to be funny.
You just can't be too safe.
I can't even do that anymore. Yeah, I just stay home and I podcast and do all this good stuff. So.
Well, as for me, I'm on Twitter at parts-of-a-whole33, same on Instagram, and of course, we're all over Facebook with Over the Guardrail and Over the Guardrail YouTube channel, which is growing by the day.
And also,
yes,
my podcast, Eyes Up Here, is an international sensation, and we have DC as a guest host on once a month as well. So that is patreon.com/Francine podcast. And you can see my man DC on there. Yeah.
Which, by the way, those DMs that you read, that is one of the best segments out there, period.
Well, I am so glad you like it. I enjoy reading them. And I feel a little dirty reading them sometimes. And I don't like some of the words, but I do it for you guys. So glad you like it.
All right. So for us, Miss Francine, I'm DC, and we've been over the guardrail.
I want your guitar.
Champagne and guitar.